Okay, freshmen, help your parents out. Tell them how we get started. Clap 3 times if you hear me. Clap 2. Clap once. So we had the pleasure today of meeting with all the freshmen. Excuse my voice. I probably am coming down with some congestion, but it does make me sound like Barry White. I've always wanted to sound like Barry White. You can make this night go better if you laugh at all my jokes and all my college jokes. We like to have a good time. But we had the pleasure today of meeting with all our rising freshmen, and I will say it was probably one of the most enjoyable days this year thus far, and they are an awesome class. We like to come in and set expectations and really talk to them about building culture, but Dr. Malofsky has worked with them, and you can see that she's worked with them. They didn't need us. They were there, they were plugged into the presentations, they didn't have their devices, so the future is bright here at LHS. So some of the things that I told the students is that their job was to get you out here, and I told them that they had some homework to do, so now it's time for an assessment check. We're gonna see if they did their homework. Parents, raise your hand if you got a course of study. Oh boy, we got some work we need to do. Some people didn't get the course of study. All right, so the good news is the course of study is online. You will be able to access it online, and we will, again, we do have some extra copies at the middle school, but ask your student, that was their first piece of high school homework, was to bring that course of study home. So, second assessment, raise my hand to some of my rising 9th graders that are here that were in our presentation today. Raise your hand. Where you at? Where you at? Okay, so whenever we enter this space, you are now in the LHS auditorium like I told you you would be. Who are some of the entities that you represent when you step into this space? Oh, I see hands.
The Lawrence community.
Okay, that's one.
Yourself.
Yes, that's the most important one. What's the next one? You're sitting next to them.
Your parents.
And your parents. So that's what we talked about today, setting that stage, letting our kids know that whenever they enter into a space, whenever they're in our community, whenever they're walking through our halls, those are the entities that they represent, and if they keep that in the forefront of their mind, they'll never disappoint us. So, my name is Dr. Williams. I am one of the assistant principals here at Lawrence High School, and I will be traveling, matriculating with your student through their high school career. So I've had probably 7 or 8 freshman classes that I've brought in from freshmen, and we see them out as seniors, and then they come back and visit. It's a special thing we do. It's built on building relationships, and it's something that I'm very proud of. Not only am I building administrator here, but I'm also a father of a student here as a freshman. So I'm starting to get some insight on what it is to be a student, understanding student life, and listening to student voice, even when I don't want to hear it. Dad, we need to talk about detention. So, without further ado, I'm gonna introduce the captain of our ship. Please give him a warm round of applause, Dr. Adam.
Hello. Thank you, Dr. Williams. Welcome. As you heard, my name is David Adam. I'm the very proud principal here at Lawrence High School. We want to welcome you here tonight. It's a great night. You've braved the weather. You've made it here. It's nice and warm inside. There's no wind in here. Warm. It's dry. It's going to be a great evening. This is one of the most exciting nights for us in Lawrence High School because it's a chance for you, our newest Cardinals, to walk across the parking lot and walk through our halls tonight. Tonight is filled with a lot of information. There's a lot here because we have a lot to share with you. We're proud of a lot of the information you're going to hear about tonight. Part of the night we'll take you through is in here in the auditorium. You're going to hear from some very special people here to my right. And they're going to help you, not only tonight, but over the next 4 years, be as comfortable and successful as possible. So when you leave Lawrence High School, you're ready for anything in the world that you want to do. After a few minutes in here, we're going to be here about an hour. From this part, you'll then have our very talented peer leaders who are in the hallways waiting for you. Those are our upperclassmen. We're going to walk you through the halls of Lawrence High School and get a chance to see the whole school. The school is open to you, so we'll have an open house portion of the night. And when we finish with the open house portion of the night, you'll finish in our commons or our cafeteria area. One of the best parts of the night, our cafeteria is open for free samples. Yes, we're going to feed you tonight. And you're sitting there going, we're getting cafeteria food. I'm telling you, if we do not have the best cafeteria in Mercer County, we have the best cafeteria in central New Jersey. And you're gonna see what it looks like. You're gonna get a chance to walk in, see our cafeteria area, where the food is, taste the food, talk to the people you'll be working with in the cafeteria. And when you're done getting a free sample and a little refreshment, the last part of the night in the cafeteria, we will have all of our clubs, our activities, our sports teams, our coaches, our advisors, but most importantly, the high school kids are in those programs. So you get to hear from them, what's it like to be a freshman in Lawrence High School from the kids who were freshmen in Lawrence High School. What's it mean to be on the basketball team? What's it mean to be part of DECA? What's it mean to be part of the Black Student Union? There's all these great examples of things you could do here in Lawrence High School that we're going to open you up to tonight. I will share with you that you're going to walk out going, oh my gosh, there's a lot going on here. And that's the amazing piece of Lawrence High School that we hope you walk away with. And you may not be able to absorb it all tonight, and that's all right. Because over the next couple months, our job is to get you the information so you can make those choices with classes, career choices. What do you want to do with your life now? What do you want to do with your life after high school? And what is it going to take to make the next 4 years of your life the most special part? And that's our job, is to make that setting for you and make you happy about these 4 years. You only get 4 years in high school. As your parents, and when I look around at our parents, those are some of the best years of your life. And we hope that when you walk out of Lawrence High School, you said, those are awesome 4 years. And I can't wait for the next chapter of my life. So that's what our job is here, and our mission is to do that for all of you, okay? So what we're going to ask right now is you have a little bit of patience, and we're going to need your attention. So if we have our students here, you know we don't allow cell phones out in our spaces where we're learning. This is a learning environment for us. So ask you to put your cell phones away, try to put your thinking caps on, pay attention, and you really want to listen to the people who are going to be meeting with you right now, because those are the people you're going to be going to for different questions, concerns, challenges, advice. Where should I go with this, or how should I deal with that when I become a sophomore, maybe even a junior? But most importantly, walking in the door as freshmen. What can we do for you and set you up for success, like I said? All right? So be prepared. It's going to be a great evening. Before I kick it off, I just want to introduce a few very special people who are here with us tonight, because they're also part of our support team. So I'm going to turn to my right here. We have Miss Vanessa Bekarsak, if you would stand up, one of our assistant superintendents. Thank you, Vanessa, for being here. Second, we have Mr. Neil Desai, our very new assistant superintendent. Neil starts in just about 2 weeks from now, so we're excited to have Neil on board with all of us in supporting our group. And the last person I'm going to introduce is our superintendent. If you could please give a big round of applause for Dr. Kim.
Thank you so much. You may recognize my voice from the 2 delayed opening phone calls you got from me the last couple of weeks. I'm seeing some nods. I won't take up much of your time. I want to just point out to you that we have a beautiful facility here at the high school. One of the facilities just adjacent from our parking lot is our middle school. We have a referendum vote coming up on March 11th. I invite everyone to join our town hall. There's information and brochures out on the table just to learn about our project. We really want everyone to be informed voters. Parents that sat here in these seats before you voted for different additions and programming and space that your children will now reap the benefits of. So while your kids will not see the effects of matriculating through the middle school and some of our plans to build an addition, again, families before you voted for your children to have the beautiful facility that we're sitting in today. So I do encourage you, February 26th, it's at 6 p.m., it's a virtual town hall. Many of the leaders that you see standing here will be a part of that forum. Please come out, please be educated. The vote is on March 11th. We are 16 days away from the vote when I wake up tomorrow. Yes, I have a countdown in my head. And we just look forward to really partnering with you to continue the academic excellence that you'll see presented from our fellow colleagues this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Klim. We appreciate being here. So the last thing I'll say before I turn it over is I'm going to ask our rising Cardinals, our newest Lawrence High School students, as you experience tonight, I'm going to ask you to start envisioning yourself as a high school student. Now for some of the moms and dads, like, we're not ready for that yet. I understand that. I get that. I have 2 kids. One's a junior, one's a freshman in college, and I understand what it's like transitioning to 9th grade. But I'm asking our students, start to see yourself as you see the video up here, as you see the activities going on up here, as you see the classes going on in here, when you walk through the halls, when you meet with some of the students in the cafeteria area, start to envision yourself, what does it look like when I'm walking through the halls as a 9th grade student? Start putting yourself there mentally. And that's going to set you up for success. When you do actually get here, you're very prepared, all right? Enjoy the evening. Have a great night. We're so excited to have you here. And we can't wait to share with all of you what makes us excited about Lawrence High School. So have a great night. I'll turn over to Dr. Stein.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Dr. Stein. I'm one of the assistant principals here. I just wanted to briefly speak to you about our LMS, LHS, PTO. It is combined. It does follow you from the middle school through the high school. So if you are already involved, thank you. And if you're looking to get involved in helping with things like Student of the Month, our music and theater program, or teacher appreciation, the website is up there for you, and they will also have a table in the Commons when you are done with your tours. Thank you.
All right.
Ms. Eke?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Brenda Eke. I am one of the assistant principals here at the high school as well. I have a couple of slides. I just want to shout out, if you are available, this Saturday we have our Black History celebration. It is our 12th annual celebration. It is by far one of the largest Black History Month celebrations in the county. So give them a round of applause, because Dr. Clark does a great job with them. Please come out. It is free for our community. Come out. There will be vendors. There will be food tasting. There will be a huge program at 5 p.m. We also have our keynote speaker, who will be the Honorable Raz Baraka, who is the mayor of Newark. So please, if you have availability, please come out on Saturday. The vending starts at 3 p.m. Another shameless plug, because I supervise a theater company. We also have our musical coming up, Hello Dolly. How many people have seen our musicals or our fall dramas before? Whether it's Grease, Les Mis, whatever the case may be, our kids are phenomenal. If you can, give them a round of applause, because I am so proud of the work that they've done as well. If any of you from the middle school are involved in the plays and the dramas as well, I also encouraged you earlier today, come out and see our kids. They do a phenomenal job. Hello Dolly will be phenomenal. We have the dates March 6th, 7th, and 8th. It is $10 online, and the QR code there will get you to the ticket sales. The next thing, in the summer we do have enrichment programs for the rising 9th grade, and one of them is our honors prep program. If you are a rising 9th grader who's interested in taking harder level courses, your freshman year or sophomore year, I do want to encourage you to look into our English honors prep program. We also have a science one as well. In that, you'll learn very valuable skills that can set you up for success and prepare you for honors level classes. So it ran last year, it's running again. Mr. Foster was the teacher who did it last year. He's also in the cafeteria running one of the activities. He's also one of our 9th grade honors English teachers. So if you have any questions about that, please come up, come see me, but then also you can also reach out to Mr. Foster, who's in the cafeteria as well, if you have any questions. It is a free program. It's only about a week and a half long in the summer, and it is something that will help our students prepare for the honors and AP level courses as they're in this high school. Dr. Williams.
Okay, so, thank you. Uh-oh, Ms. Eke, I need some help. So today, what we did today was kind of talk to our students about life at LHS. Talking about life at LHS and trying to put it into words is very hard. So what we were able to do, and we purposely didn't show them this video because we wanted them to come back tonight, we were able to take a video and we were able to narrate a video and have our students kind of put it together to really encapsulate what it is to be at LHS. So again, if you can sit tight, we're gonna kind of lower the lights and we're gonna play this quick 5-minute video that will take you through life at LHS. Once the video is over, I will introduce our Freshman Academy leader and we will move on with our program.
Welcome to Lawrence High School, a place where curiosity, creativity, character, and community are fostered each and every day.
Lawrence High School has something to offer for everyone, from rigorous academics to competitive sports to the fine and performing arts to service learning and more.
At Lawrence High School, we encourage intellectual and creative curiosity in our classrooms and beyond.
By empowering learners to explore concepts big and small, we promote a sense of personal achievement as students prepare to enter a global society.
Through our extensive AP, honors, and dual credit course offerings, our students have a variety of opportunities to push their learning and become critical thinkers as they prepare for life after high school.
The LHS Career Academies revolve around a central theme of career readiness and are connected to multiple concepts such as business, science and health, education, innovations, and service to provide further opportunities for students to explore areas of interest outside of the classroom, giving them real-world experience and exposure to different career pathways.
Through diligence and dedication, we redefine what is possible to achieve.
It has been said that creativity is intelligence having fun. At Lawrence High School, we see that fun in action every day.
The Lawrence Township Music Department has been named a Best Community in Music Education in the nation every year since 2014.
The Fine and Performing Arts departments are staffed by educators who are also practicing artists in their own rights, performing and displaying their craft and passing that experience on to their students.
From Tri-M to the theater company, Lawrence High School has ample opportunities for students to hone their creativity, both in and out of the classroom.
Creativity is not just limited to the arts, however. Whether you are role-playing for DECA, designing a better bridge in inventions and innovations, or flexing your decorating muscle during cupcake wars, creative problem-solving is a constant across the entire curriculum.
At Lawrence High School, we build character through empowering students to lead.
Our peer leadership and teen pep programs give our students the skill, confidence, and opportunities to educate their peers as well as lead in community outreach.
Teamwork, sportsmanship, and perseverance are cornerstones of our athletic programs.
Excellence on the field is built on a foundation of strong academic expectations, collaboration among coaches and teammates, and respect for oneself and others.
Each season is not just about getting those wins on the field, but also improving as student athletes, leaders, and citizens.
Character is also built by facing challenges instead of avoiding them. In our day-to-day interactions between students and staff, we seek to break down barriers through dialogue, restorative practice, problem-solving, and collaboration.
At Lawrence High School, a national school of character, we believe character counts.
We pride ourselves on our diverse school community that is composed of people from a wide variety of racial, religious, ethnic, and cultural backgrounds.
Our community is stronger for the variety of perspectives we each bring to Lawrence, as we continually strive to embrace, respect, and celebrate that diversity.
The freshman experience process helps to create smaller learning communities within our school to better support our students as they begin their high school careers. LHS students give back to the community through service learning projects, community service, and special events throughout the year, such as our Black History Month celebration, Hispanic Heritage Month celebration, Garba Night, Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month festivities, and International Alliance Club's Culture Fest.
Beyond the classroom, Lawrence High School has over 30 different clubs and organizations that allow students to meet others with similar interests. Clubs such as Students Helping Honduras, Black Student Union, Operation Smile, National Honor Society, International Alliance, Students for Social Activism, and Bring Change to Mind also provide opportunities for students to serve their communities through a variety of initiatives and special events.
Each strand of our individual identities comes together to form the fabric of the Lawrence High School community.
Guided by this vision, we strive towards these ideals of curiosity, character, creativity, and community every day. That's what makes us #Lawrence Strong.
All right, if we could have some lights. Man, I think we're going to enter that into the Cannes Film Festival. I think we can give one an award, right? It's award season. So before we get started really into the night, I think we really need to really acknowledge and really introduce some of the people who really make it happen for your kids. And these are a lot of the behind the scenes people that work, and these are our supervisors and our directors. So first, I would like to introduce Mrs. Stokes. Mrs. Stokes, she is our Director of School Counseling and Student Supports. Give her a round of applause. All right. We also have our Supervisor of Special Education, grades 7 to graduation, Miss Sasse. All right. We have our instructional supervisors, super being the word, Mrs. Foster. She is in charge of math, science, technology, music, and visual arts. And we have Dr. Pancoast, Dr. Mary Pancoast, who's in charge of English, history, world language, library, business, theater, family consumer science, and health and physical education. Again, these are the people who really make it happen in the classroom, working with the teachers and really focusing on achievement. Also, I want to introduce our athletic director. I said to the kids, this is probably one of our most visible, publicly visible front-facing administrators. He's at every single athletic match, home athletic match. He doesn't miss a game. Mr. Amarada, he's also a proud graduate here of Lawrence High School, class of 1989. Sorry, Mr. Amarada, 1989. And he's going to tell you stories. We put him at the end so we can kind of hurry him along. All right. So last but not least, we have one of our teachers here who's also our academy leader. We are actually going through a transition with our career academies, and we are changing our freshman academy to the freshman experience. So Miss Palumbo is also a soccer coach. She's also an assistant swim coach. And she's also our freshman academy leader, or our freshman experience leader. She's, again, really entrenched in life here at LHS. She teaches English honors, right? And she really works with the kids, the freshmen. I think she teaches freshmen all day long. And I'm telling you, that can be a challenge, but she finds it rewarding because you get to see the growth. So that freshman experience, that's what we're really here to talk to you about. Really, the supports that we're putting in place to make sure we catch kids. Because again, failing is okay. But what we want our kids to do is fail forward, right? So learn from those mistakes. So, and that's what Ms. Palumbo is going to talk to you a little bit about, some of those supports. Go ahead, Ms. Palumbo.
Thank you. As Dr. Williams said, I've taught freshmen here for 13 years. They're my favorite grade to teach because I get to see them grow all 4 years and they come back and visit. But my main job as freshman academy leader is to ease the transition to high school, which sometimes can be difficult for students. So one of the ways that I do that is I monitor their academic progress, and I'll check their grade books, and I communicate with their teachers. If we notice that they are struggling with the transition, even if it's just for one particular class, we want to set them up for success and show them the resources that we have at the high school. So for example, we have Cardinal Nest, Homework Center, and Destinations. They're all in-house tutoring that they can use. Cardinal Nest uses LHS students that they can meet during resource to receive tutoring. Destinations and Homework Center work with teachers that are here after school that they can get help with. So if we notice that they need some assistance, there are plenty of options for them to go and get support. Freshman seminar has peer leaders come in and talk to them about some things that the upperclassmen know and can share the knowledge with to the underclassmen, excuse me. In addition to helping them academically, we want them to get involved, if you want to click. There are so many things that students should get involved in and find their niche in people. So we highly encourage you when even as soon as you enter, hopefully a lot of you are going to play fall sports. There's a ton of clubs and options for everyone. So we encourage you to get involved and to see the club fair and to talk to the people that are part of them and the leaders. I'm looking forward to teaching a lot of you because I mainly teach freshmen all day. But thank you and have a great night.
All right. And I must add, Miss Palumbo's soccer team made it probably to one of the furthest points in history. I believe she was Central Jersey, one of the Central Jersey finalists, right? Awesome job, Miss Palumbo. Awesome job. So she's making it happen in the classroom and also outside of the classroom. Without further ado, we're going to introduce our athletic director. He's going to come back to you and talk to you a little bit about our athletics here at Lawrence High School.
Hi everyone, welcome to tonight's Rising Ninth Grade orientation. So the first thing I'd like to highlight is our facilities at Lawrence High School. So we are one of a few schools in the area, Lawrence High School, Notre Dame, and Bordentown, who have multiple turf fields. So that's a benefit, a tremendous benefit, because particularly in the spring, the weather doesn't cooperate, and there's a lot of rescheduling. But for us, assuming there's no snow on the ground, we're business as usual. We're full steam ahead. So, like for example, for our softball program, our baseball program, like I give them 5 scrimmages, and I reach out to rival schools, and they're like, I don't know, we can scrimmage that early in March. I'm like, well, you could come to us. I'm like, that's not a problem. They're like, you have turf? I'm like, yeah, we have turf. I'm like, oh, okay. So yeah, so we just benefit from a lot of these facilities that we have, because weather really doesn't matter and there's no snow. So we feel very fortunate. Additionally, we have a pool on campus. In the county, Lawrence High School, Princeton High School, West Windsor North, West Windsor South, Hightstown. That's it. Everybody else in our league in the county, they have to outsource it, they have to travel. Having a pool on site for our swim team that is very, very competitive is excellent. Additionally, for PE, every student in Lawrence High School, they have to take swimming every year of their high school career, which is a really good skill set to have. So our weight room, for example, I coached at Lawrence High School for 27 years, and I've been around many, many high schools in the state. Our weight room rivals the best high schools in the state. We have a tremendous facility in our weight room. And saying that about our weight room, our weight room training after school, it's 4 seasons: fall, winter, spring, and summer. It's not like other schools where you have a weight room supervisor who he or she just oversees the kids. We have a program. We have a weight room who is a teacher. He's a certified weight instructor, and he puts you on a program in order for our kids to get bigger, stronger, and faster. So, we feel really, really positive where we are with our athletics, our culture, our coaching, etc. So there's our weight room top right. Cheerleaders top left, just to highlight our cheerleaders. For the 2nd consecutive year, they qualified for the national cheer event in Orlando, Florida. They flew down there on February 7th. They performed very well, and they came back on February 11th. So any cheerleaders in the crowd, our cheerleading program is very, very strong. So on the left here is our offerings, fall, winter, and spring. As far as time commitment, it's an adjustment from the middle school. Middle school athletics, 5 days a week. When there's no school, there's no practice. Half day of school, there's no practice. Holidays, there's no practice. Obviously, weekends, there's no practice. So that intensifies in the high school. In the high school athletics, we expect 6 days a week. Half days, you will either practice or play. Holidays, you will either practice or play. And practices are around 2 to 2 hours and 15 minutes per day. So the time commitment is intensified at the high school level. And summer practices, so here's how it works. As far as the state, so we have to comply by NJSI rules. During the school year, basically, coaches cannot have contact with you. For example, a fall coach can have contact with his or her athlete in the winter and the spring. Obviously, when you're in season, the coach has contact with you. But out of season, you can have contact with your student athletes. Once the summer hits, they call it a dead period. So, for example, our girls basketball program, our boys basketball program, they will have open gym for 2 to 3 nights this summer, in addition to being in a league. Basically, all fall sports, which start in August, they'll practice throughout the summer, starting in June. Now, these summer practices are volunteer. However, it's a lot of installation, and it's a lot of learning the concepts that's going to be ran in the fall. So yeah, summer, there's a lot of activity that we go through in the summer. Academics, so we are student athletes. Our standard is 6.25 credits. Again, that we are complying by the state. It's 25% of the graduation total. 6.25 credits per year, projected as 25 credits. That's our graduation standard. So the final transcript of a student's year is applicable to fall eligibility and winter eligibility. The first semester grades, marking periods 1 and 2 of the current year, is applicable to the spring semester. Now, there's a little caveat. For freshmen, for upcoming freshmen, they are inherently eligible the fall and winter season. Their eligibility clock doesn't start ticking until the spring of their freshman year. So right now, I just finished evaluating all grades today. It's like, oh God, 200 kids. So I go through and I have to check if they have 6.25 credits. Did they pass 6.25 credits in the first semester? You know, some kids have 8 credits and they didn't do so well in one class, they're still eligible. Because if you pass 7 out of 8, you're still eligible. Some kids have 7 credits, and if they didn't pass one, that's not 6.25. So, I mean, largely we're really, really good with our academics and kids complying and passing their courses, et cetera. So 6.25 credits, that is our standard in terms of eligibility. For filing paperwork, registration, medical paperwork, etc., it's exactly the same as you've been accustomed to at Lawrence Middle School. You register online through our school, you submit your paperwork to the Lawrence High School nurse's office, and all that gets processed. A physical is valid for 365 days, so if that is the case, you only need an update sheet. So it's the exact same thing. If you have any comments, questions, you can find my email on Lawrence Athletics webpage. If you go to ltps.org, click on Departments, Athletics. There's a whole host of coaches, myself. You can click and you can ask any questions. Thanks for your time.
Good evening, everyone. I was Miss Philmeyer, now I'm Miss Stokes. I'm glad I'm not the first one that messed that up. So I do recognize a lot of you out here, and I'm glad you made it. So if you are confused, yes, I am the same person that has been here. So I am going to talk about some of our cheat sheets. So, and I say that because you're going to get a lot of information. Raise your hand if you had a student go through high school yet. All right, so some of you know the deal. You kind of are aware of these things. Dr. Milofsky is going to send you a talking points. It is going to come at 8:31 to make sure you paid attention to everything tonight. It is going to have our program of studies in there. It's going to have cheat sheets in there. It's going to have a lot of information that the students got today. So you can look for that if you have questions. So as far as students that receive special education services, have case managers. If you do have a case manager, this is assigned to your child, and they will provide extra support for you through your student's IEP. And you can reach out to these people. These are the case managers that we have at our high school. And Mrs. Sasse is the one that oversees our case managers. These are our school counselor assignments. If you would like to, a lot of people like to take a picture of this slide because all the students always want to know who their counselor is going to be if they didn't bring home that program of studies earlier today. Later this year, the counselors from the high school will be going to the middle school to do the scheduling with your child. If you have questions, you can ask the middle school counselors. They are very aware of a lot of our processes. They have a lot of the forms to make it a little easier for that transition. So the middle school counselors are involved along with the high school counselors. So high school has a lot of different requirements that we're not totally used to. When you start talking about college and career and different pathways and things that you want to do, after talking to counselors for multiple years in different colleges, the most important thing that you can start to do is care about your classes. If you don't do well in your classes, you're not going to get into the college you want to go to, and you're not going to be able to look into the goals that maybe junior and senior year you kind of wished that you might have been able to do. So think about that now. Focus on that, not on your junior year, not on your senior year. Focus on freshman year. So in high school, if you miss one class, so let's say if you're late to class for first period 10 times, you lose credit for that class. So it's not like the school day, like in middle school when you miss the school day, it adds up against your attendance. For high school, we have to pay attention for your credit class. So you could lose credit in 1 or 2 classes, but then not miss the entire day of school. So it's really important to make sure that you're present for class. Also because you're going to be the most successful if you're present. Testing graduation requirements. These are currently the graduation requirements for testing for this year's seniors. The state has not yet released it, but it typically doesn't change that much. The reason why I think it's really important for all of you to see these slides is because these tests, you want to make sure you take them seriously. The GPA test is junior year, so that is the first pathway for you to be able to pass and graduate high school. But it's important to know, sophomore and junior year, we provide the PSAT for students. So to come in feeling ready for those tests and prepared to do well in them, that'll help you pass your graduation requirement if you don't meet that first pathway. If you do not pass either of those first 2, we got you. Then there's the portfolio process, and we'll work with your child throughout that process. We don't let anyone hang out. These are our credit requirements. Some schools, if you did go to a different school, go by 5 credits per class. That was a little confusing to me when I first got here. We do it by 1. Makes it a little easier to count. Make sure that you have what you need. So you need 25 credits in order to graduate, and you need the different credits in these areas. So for example, you need the 4 years of English, 4 years of PE. The other years have 1 or 2 years or 3. That allows you to really be able to take different electives. You could leave and do different work studies. We really wanted to make it so that we met the state graduation requirement, but had opportunities for students to take like dual enrollment opportunities and a lot of the cool opportunities that they're going to talk about later. So that this way you can get these state graduation requirements, but then you can really focus on going to possibly like a vocational school or whatever your goal is for post-secondary skills. So next, the supervisors are going to talk about academic offerings, but please feel free to call your counselors, call your case managers, reach out. For our school counselors, we have a newsletter that we send out the second Thursday a month. You'll get an email. If you don't start getting that email when they become freshmen, call our office because there might be something with Genesis with your email or something, and we want to make sure that you're getting that information. We're very specific to what's important. So, you know, when you log in there, you're going to see when SATs are, when the ACT's available, and those kinds of things. You want to make sure you're on top of those things because there's not a lot of sites. Once SATs went digital, there's not a lot of sites that test anymore, and so you don't want to have to go far for those things, and we provide them here too, but you want to just make sure that you get in there quickly so that you have that opportunity. But please reach out to the counselors with any questions. We're here to help, and you know, you can call middle school or high school. Thank you very much.
So glad to see so many of you tonight. I'm Dr. Mary Pancoast. I supervise, as Dr. Williams introduced me, 8 of the departments here at the high school. So most likely I will be engaging with you or your child as you journey through this school. As Ms. Stokes mentioned, we are going to focus first on our graduation requirements. Our first priority is making sure that your child earns his or her diploma so that they can leave the school and be successful beyond. But we also want to offer opportunities for your child to be successful when they leave Lawrence High School. So we do have a lot of classes that focus on career pathways. So you might not necessarily be going to college. You might want to just jump into a career. So we're going to discuss some of the opportunities here that will provide you with skills and certifications that will get you into college. At the current time, we're negotiating a contract with Rowan University to get your child dual enrollment credits. We'll talk a little bit more as we go through those courses. Currently, we have English 101, 102. That's going to look a little different. We're going to go from 1 class in English to about 5 offerings for your child. Those courses will cost you money, but they will cost you significantly less money than going to college. Currently, our classes here at Lawrence High School cost $150 for the class. If you go to Mercer County, for their county rate, it's $660 for a class. So just being here and making that kind of financial plan in your head right now, if college is in your future, these dual enrollment classes, as they're offered, are something that you and your child are going to want to discuss moving forward. But we'll start with the English class. So as we mentioned, English is a 4-year requirement from the state of New Jersey. We have a couple of different tracks here. We have college preparatory, which is English 1, 2, 3, and 4. We have an honors track. In the honors track, we do have honors classes, but we also have the AP language and composition class, and as you'll see, it has a little copyright C. That is a class that we have projected will be a dual enrollment class and will count for English 101. We also have AP literature and composition in the English department, and that has another little C, that's English 102. We have electives in the English department. We have public speaking, which is much like our communications class down at the middle school. And our 11th and 12th grade English classes, we're applying for them to be dual enrollment credits. So it's business communications, which focuses on writing and presenting in the business world. Gender studies, publications, and journalism. And we have support classes as well. Freshman year, as Ms. Palumbo mentioned, we do support our freshmen as they transition in. We have an English seminar for students who we've noticed on the NJSLA and some of our diagnostic tests might be struggling a little bit in analyzing nonfiction classes, so that's a specific support class for that. And as Ms. Stokes mentioned, we do have an English lab class in senior year. If you need that portfolio, we have the class specifically there. She mentioned we're not going to let you hang out. We're going to make sure that you get your credits so that you are able to graduate from high school. If you speak a language other than English at home, we have a series of ESL classes that at the high school are based on proficiency. So we have a newcomer class, beginner ESL. That class meets every single day to provide our students the support that they need in learning the language. As the students progress through the sequence of learning English, they go through intermediate and advanced. We have an extension class as well. But as we progress through our English language instruction, we pair that with an additional English class so that we can have our students enrolled in English language learning classes get ready for the rigors and demands of the world outside of the ESL, the sheltered ESL classroom.
Okay, we're used to sharing the mic during these presentations, so we're going to try our best to not create feedback between the two mics. My name is Ms. Foster. I'm here to start with math. And with our math sequences here, you can see the recommended sequence of courses through the high school based on what math course your child is currently taking in 8th grade. All of our math courses progress as a 3-year graduation requirement through Algebra 1, Geometry, and Algebra 2. And depending on the year, starting in 10th grade, our math electives start to open up. So students are able to sign up based on prerequisites for things like computer science, which is in our math department. As they go through 11th and 12th grade, they also have other sequences that they could go into, such as statistics tracks, calculus tracks, and more advanced work in computer science. These math electives all come with their own prerequisites, so it's important to really follow the course guide and see what students need to have in order to meet the criteria for these classes. It also really depends on student strengths and interests. So depending on your child's postgraduate plans, they might be advised to go into specific courses. So for instance, if you want to go off and do something that would heavily rely on statistics and data interpretation, we might recommend you take a probability in statistics or an AP statistics class in the math department. The best source of which courses to take when those electives start opening up are to talk to your math teacher. So the math teachers are really well versed in speaking to child's interests and strengths in the math department to really advise them into where to go next. In the math department, the 4th year is optional, but of course I recommend continuing with a math class that year. And we also have a math lab course similar to the English lab course where students who did not meet those pathways for 1 or 2 to graduate will complete the portfolio with support and guidance from the teacher. You can see All of the courses marked with that little C, we're putting forward for eligibility for dual enrollment. So we have plenty in a lot of different areas, both in AP and electives in our math classes for college credit. Continuing on to science, again, this is a 3-year graduation requirement, but of course we would love for you to continue on with science for all 4 years. The recommended sequence at Lawrence High School is to start with biology your freshman year, and then move on through chemistry, and then junior year pick either environmental science or physics. Of course, there are a lot of other lab sciences that can fulfill the graduation requirements. Many of these lab sciences come with their own prerequisites, and a lot of our APs really recommend you take physics prior or at the same time as entering those AP tracks to prepare you for the rigor of those classes. Here you can see that the only courses that do not count as lab science, that are purely electives in science, are anatomy and physiology, which is a full year course, and our forensic science, which is a half-year course that you can take as an elective in science. Starting in sophomore year, and it seems far off when you're thinking about freshman year, students can begin to double up in some of these courses. So if your student is headed to a STEM pathway post-graduation or very interested in those areas, it's really recommended that sophomore year to consider doubling up in some of those sciences. Again, you always want to check the course of study to see what prerequisites need to be met for that, but that is an opportunity that not a lot of our students think about until it's too late and they're in junior year and they want to take more and more of these courses.
Oh, I get to talk about social studies. All right, social studies, like math and science, is another 3-year requirement. You're required a year of world history. So currently you're in 8th grade and you're taking the first half of world history. 9th grade is our second half of that world history course. So everything that you're learning now is a strong foundation for success for next year. By state requirement, you have 2 years of AmCiv courses. So in sophomore year, it's American Civilization 1, which talks from before the founding of our country all the way through to the Civil War. And then you have a choice in 11th grade. You can go into AmCiv 2, or you can challenge yourself with an AP US History class. You see the nice little C about that. That's one of the classes that we're applying for dual enrollment credit as well. We have several electives in the history department. One of the electives is AP African American History, and you can see after all of these AP courses, we have little C's, and you can see little C's behind most of the other electives as well. So a lot of offerings in the history department will hopefully be a dual enrollment class. You also have a half-year requirement for financial literacy. We do have those offerings in the social studies department. If you're currently in Algebra 1, Honors Economics is open to you next year. It's worth an honors credit, and it's only a half-year course. It's a nice, easy way to get your financial literacy requirement taken care of. We also have Principles of Economics, which is offered for grades 10 to 12. It's more of a hands-on class, and it talks more about running the economics of you in your personal life than the Honors Economics class does. The Honors Economics classes prepare our students for AP Micro or AP Macroeconomics, which are available to students in grades 10 through 12. So if you're interested in businesses or how governments work, that might be a great class for you to take as well. I'm also the supervisor of world languages. So 1 year of study is what is required for the state for graduation. So you all are in a level 1 class right now. When you come here next year, you have a few options of what you want to do. So you are all basically on a path to get to the AP course as you are. If you plan on going to a 4-year college, 4-year colleges are looking for 2 years at the high school of the same world language 1 year after the other. So you don't come in and say like, oh, I'm going to take Spanish 2 in 9th grade and I'll wait until 12th grade and take Spanish 3. That's not what they're looking for. They're looking for you to stick with it. So you come in with 9th grade. If you're enjoying your Spanish class, you're in Spanish 1 right now, you take Spanish 2 as a 9th grader, you take Spanish 3 as a 10th grader. If you want to go on to AP, you're already on the road. If you want to stop there, that's fine too. You have that option. You also may take a test later in the spring, which can place you in a class advance. So if you speak Spanish at home and you want to go into Spanish 3 in your freshman year, that is open to you as well. If you speak a language at home that we do not offer here in our school, I know a lot of people in our community speak Polish, for instance. If you want to take the test, we do have it available in Polish. If you get a certain score on it, you will receive credit for Polish 1. Pardon me. That will go on your high school transcript. Counts as your world language requirement. You're done. If you want to do an independent study, talk to your guidance counselor. You can take further classes outside of Lawrence High School that will give you credit in advanced studies in Polish. I also have health and physical education. So as Mr. Amarada mentioned, we do have a pool, and you will be in the pool every year. It is a life skill. It is one of the most important classes that we teach here in the high school. And in a time when other communities are shutting their pools down, it is important that we value this life skill and prepare our children for something that kills thousands of people every year, which is drowning. I want you to be prepared. The more exposure you have to the pool, the better off you will be in the rest of your life. Each year you're required to take physical education. It runs through 3/4 of the year. As I mentioned, being in the swim class counts as part of that. You have health every single year. Sophomore year is driver's education. Who doesn't want to take driver's education? Okay. All right, so I think we're all enrolling and we're going to pay really close attention in driver's ed. I know parents, you're excited for that too. In our junior and senior year, we have a couple of options. As was mentioned earlier in our slides, we have a team PEP, which is one of our leadership classes. We also have exercise programming, fundamentals of coaching, and as you can see in 12th grade, we have a new program which is Mentors in Motion, which is a leadership program in which students do a little bit of the management of the gym and have to do an independent study in a public health issue. That also has a little C after it for credit at RCBC as well.
Okay, so an area that's very complementary to STEM, even if you might not realize it, is our Fine and Performing Arts department. So in Fine and Performing Arts, that encompasses visual art, music, and theater. And these courses all really help you critically and creatively think using a different side of your brain than you would in your science and math classes. In our Fine and Performing Arts classes, you'll see here a lot of different sequences. Some of these are leveled. For instance, in our visual arts, we have some intro courses like our level 1 pottery and sculpture class, our world art fundamental class, which really is a survey. So if you're into a lot of different types of art, that's really great exposure. Then we also have more advanced classes such as Studio 1 and 2 that really focus in on more of the fine arts of drawing and painting and get very technical as a path to AP 2D design, which we're hoping will be eligible for that dual enrollment credit. Same with pottery and sculpture, which leads up to an AP 3D design course. In our theater courses, we have newly rebranded courses such as stagecraft and storytelling, movie magic, playwriting, and musical theater that are available starting freshman year. And then an advanced course, which again has that little C for dual enrollment in advanced studies in theater, which will be open to your students beginning their sophomore through senior years. In music, we have a lot of different options for students that are vocal and instrumental ensembles. Many of these students can take for multiple years, so I really do encourage students who are playing instruments or singing currently at the middle school to continue with that through their 4 years of high school. It's something that looks really good on a college transcript and again, really pushes both sides of your brain to support you in other areas. In the general music, we also have some semester courses open to students, music and the human experience, guitar and piano. So students who are interested in learning how to play but maybe haven't picked up an instrument before, maybe you're not familiar with reading music, that's another area where you can start learning how to do some of those things. You'll notice in this chart which courses are noted open to anyone and which come with a recommendation or an audition. Our music teachers have already started coming down to the 8th grade classes in music to really explain these courses to students and begin the audition process.
Oh, great. So the business department, we have a lot of courses available. This is one of the career tracks that we offer here. Our accounting, entrepreneurship, and foundations of business are all essential classes along with our marketing principles class to get to our career pathways. Our students will have a career pathway for Intuit certified bookkeeping. We do have pathways for social media design, and students get certificates that are industry recognized from corporations. We are heading towards the AP Business Principles class, which is currently under development by the College Board, so we are looking forward to offering that class when it's released sometime in 2027. So if business is something that's close to your heart, these are the classes that you want to take. DECA was mentioned in the earlier video and by Ms. Palumbo. It's an organization that has competitions. Students learn how to present for businesses, and they have marketing campaigns and everything else. It's really a fantastic opportunity and looks terrific on your resume. In family and consumer sciences, this is another area in which I supervise where we have 3 different career pathways. So we have 3 programs within the program. The first is our culinary courses. We have Culinary 1 and 2. They're 2 half-year courses. Beyond that, we have International Foods and Nutrition for Healthy Living. These courses are extremely popular and also very delicious. I really enjoy going to these classes, and students learn not just how to cook, but really safety in the kitchen. So parents, if you are not the best cook, I know that you've never admitted that to your child, but this might be a great opportunity for your child to learn something different. We also have courses in early childhood education. You'll see it's Early Childhood Development 1 and 2, Promising Teachers of Tomorrow. We do have one of our pre-K classrooms here in the high school, and our students who are enrolled in these programs work directly with those students. So they're kind of learning on the job how to interact and plan lessons, and really a lot about child safety in those classes as well. Again, those classes are also very, very popular. We also have courses in fashion and interior design, which include clothing, fabrics, and construction, fashion design and interior design. I wish I would have had this class in high school because I am the person who staples her hems.
So rounding out the departments that fulfill that 21st century career credit that you do need 1 full year of for graduation is our technology department. And I have the pleasure of coming to the end here of our presentation on content, but you can see the course pathways of what could lead into what. And in technology, most of them are fairly simple because the ones that are open to freshmen usually have introduction as part of their name. You can see here we even offer an interactive media and esports class, which really gets into the fundamentals of gaming and game design and different things that you can do in those career fields. And we're very happy to have just received notice that we received a grant from the NJDOE for AI in education. And part of that grant will go to supporting and supplementing the coursework in these classes to really make sure our students are prepared for the 21st century in the field with tools that they're already out there that will continue to evolve and emerge as they go through. Lastly, before we kind of wrap here, I just want to say we gave you a ton of information. It is all in the book, but we are still here to help you through the next 4 years. And oftentimes we have students and families reach out to us with questions about courses and curriculum. And we're always happy, even though we're not necessarily always seen in the building, to answer those questions and work with your family to really help your student be successful and get the most out of their experience here at Lawrence High School.
Thank you so much.
All right. Before we move forward, can you give our content supervisors another round of applause? These are the unsung heroes. They work closely with the teachers. They eat, live, and breathe achievement. So again, a lot of what you see happening in the classrooms, really, they're behind the scenes making it happen. So they're awesome individuals, super smart, and they inspire us to be better. So Scheduling. This is, we're nearing the end of the presentation. So if you hear me back on the mic, the hostess with the mostest, it's almost time to go and get ready to tour the building. So, but before we go, the kids, this is what they've been waiting for all night, the scheduling portal, right? And talking them through getting through the scheduling portal. So Ms. Malofsky will, Dr. Malofsky will be emailing you all at 8:31. She told me specifically, not 8:30, but 8:31. And listen, I was a parent and I received Dr. Malofsky's communications. She communicates, right? You get auto dialers, you get videos. Well, you're gonna get a video with me and her and I, and then you're also gonna get an email letting you know that that portal is open. All right, so let's talk about the timeline. So February, this is like when the scheduling process starts. They are now in the middle of the scheduling process. They're gonna go in and they're gonna log into Genesis. I'll walk you through that. Once they log into Genesis, we're gonna really ask them to really focus on elective courses. Again, they will be able to choose the core content courses, but I really want them to choose those elective courses because that's where they have voice and choice. Your core content courses are really, they're gonna have conversations with their guidance counselors. The teachers are gonna make recommendations. So that's gonna be pretty much prescribed for them. If for some reason they didn't make it into an honors class, you know, there is a challenge process, there is a waiver process. You know, you can learn more about that by diving into our book. So that happens in February. Next, March, they're gonna, mid-March, the counselors are high school counselors, which doesn't happen. My wife works at Hamilton. The guidance counselors in the middle school actually do scheduling. I think it's special that we send our counselors down to meet with the kids. Remember what I tell you, we really focus on relationships. Building that relationship with the school counselor, with the kids, is important because when the kid is struggling, whether it's mentally, emotionally, or academically, we want that counselor to have a relationship with them, and we want them to be able to come to that counselor and express whatever they're going through, and that counselor is going to help navigate them through this institution we call school, right? So we send the counselors down mid-March, they meet with the kids. We want those meetings to be productive. So what we ask is take the time, go through the course of study, pick those electives, rate them. We ask you to prioritize them. I believe the priority is like 1 to 6, maybe 1 to 10. I'll walk you through that in a few minutes. And then when they meet with the counselors, that'll be an easy conversation, and then they could spend more time getting to know your child and really personalizing that educational experience for their freshman year. Third, April, early May, you are going to receive the initial course request material with or mailed home. So when the counselors sit down with your kids, you don't have to worry, because with my daughter, I worried. I'm like, okay, what is she gonna sign up for? So they meet with the counselors, and again, we're encouraging independence, self-advocacy, but we also mail them home. So there's no, you know, peekaboo, I tricked you, I signed up for something that you didn't want me to sign up for. We want this to be a collaborative experience. So you'll get those course requests mailed home. April, early May, you'll have enough time to review and make some changes. And again, at the end of May, we're kind of done with placement changes. We're done with changes. I'm building the master schedule. I'm the lucky guy that takes 1,200 student schedules over about 150 teacher schedules, and we make magic happen, right? So I also work with the content supervisors to make sure that, again, we're putting kids in the right classes and we're putting the right teachers in front of your kids. Late May, early June, we finalize really course enrollment, and we really, like I said, begin to create the master schedule. The final schedule really won't be finalized until I believe it's the last, I believe we open up the last Wednesday in August. We will open up that portal last Wednesday in August. Sometimes we open it up earlier. Oftentimes, you know, again, we like to synchronize with the middle school. So by the time freshman orientation happens, your kid will know your schedule. So they will walk in here knowing what their schedule is. They'll get a paper copy of their schedule at freshman orientation. And then again, they'll be looking and making sure like, hey, I got class with my friend, or no, I don't have any classes with my friend. So I'm gonna have to make new friends, all right? All right, can somebody advance to the next slide? Sorry, did I? All right, so the process, the portal process. Parents, all right, so the portal is actually open right now, all right? Don't tell Dr. Malofsky I cheated. I was supposed to wait till 8:31. I actually opened it as I was sitting over in the corner. So the portal is actually open. So what you're gonna see, the landing page, when you log into Genesis, you're gonna see on the left-hand side, scheduling. That wasn't there prior to probably a few minutes ago, right? Once you click scheduling, you're gonna click requests. If you're viewing it on a phone, it'll probably look similar to this. It may also appear as a text bar on the bottom. Once you do that, you'll see the kids, all the courses that they've been recommended for. I think I used my daughter's. All right, so you'll see, again, the recommendations that they will receive, that they have received from their teachers. All those recommendations are in, they're up to date. Next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna also click, and you'll click in one of the subject areas, because there will be subject areas there. Again, we're asking you to really focus on the electives. Once you click on that subject area, you'll be able to select the course. When you select the course, again, you'll take the course, you'll actually be able to see a description of the course. Like, what are some of the prerequisites? What is the course about? Again, so all that information that is in the course of study, I had a team that actually put it into the system so that you can easily access it without going back to the course of study. Again, after you select the course, this window pops up. Again, we ask you to prioritize or do a weighting, a priority weighting on your courses, right? So for elective courses, it's important that you can choose as many as you want. Choose a lot, and then you can put priority weighting on, this is my highest priority and this is my lowest priority. So then when you sit with your counselor with that intimate conversation, when it's one-on-one, again, they will have something to start from, so that it's not like the kid is sitting there with the overwhelming course of study trying to pick through courses. So it's very important that you take that time and have those conversations with your kid and do this together. We are encouraging families to sit and do this together. This is a family activity that we want you to sit down with your child and open up conversations around charting their course for the future. So that's it. We're kind of towards the end. All right? Yeah. Yes. We're tired of him. I'm not done. I'm not done. Just for that. Dr. Adam gave me some closing remarks. One, he wanted me to let you know that everything counts from day one, right? Everything counts. Your freshman year counts, right? If you start off in a hole, you got to dig yourself out of that hole. So this is the message to the students. Take it seriously as you walk in day one. There will be struggles. We will surround you with supports that'll help to make you successful. Parents, my advice to you, start teaching them self-advocacy right now. Right? Instead of you emailing that teacher, give them the computer, guide them to emailing that teacher, and helping them to navigate school, right? You're still there. You're still going to be the support system, but let them self-advocate. Next, I want to let you know, we believe in a co-parenting model here at Lawrence High School. So what does that mean? The state gives us what we call in loco parentis. So when the parents aren't around, we're their parents. I always tell the kids, and they get tired of hearing it, I got one biological daughter, and I got 1,199 surrogate kids, right? All our administrators believe it. We're coming from a place of love, care, and concern, so when we are making decisions, we center the students in all those decisions. So let me tell you, they're in good hands, all right? So even if we don't agree on some things, we will find a middle ground. Last thing, our peer leaders will be coming in, and they will start running the tours. So I'm going to turn it over to our peer leaders. They will be pulling families out and groups, and then our tours will start from here. So thank you for an awesome night. You've been an awesome audience.